So let's go back to the smart savings solution and think about, right, what's the next step then? So if we've got the concepts of compound growth and pound cost averaging in our head, the next thing we need is a system. If you've got a system, you can usually get to an end result much more efficiently, can't you? Much more effectively. I know that if we have systems in our business, things get done, whereas if we just go about things on a crazy haphazard fashion, things would get forgotten and we'd be far less effective in our approach. And your money is no different to that. So what you need is a money management system. How do you deal with the money when it comes in each month to get the biggest bang for your buck? And so what we do is we create the simple money management method. And this is a system that we give to our clients so that they can make the most of that money when it comes in each month. And we do that by setting up a number of different accounts so that when you get paid, or whether you draw the money out of your business if you run your own company, you can divert it off into different areas that deliver you the best results possible. So what are those different areas? What are those different solutions that you should be using? Well, the first thing is we need a long-term account. Long-term account is the money that you're going to use to generate you an income in retirement. Typically, that's going to be a pension, and I'll tell you why that's the best route to do that in a little while. But essentially, it's the most tax-efficient way of getting to retirement. So we need a long-term account. So we need to divert money off into a long-term account. We then need a medium-term account. A medium-term account is something where you can still get your money working harder for you, paying less tax, but that you can still access. Because of course with a pension you can't access it until at the earliest you can get it is 55. Whereas if you want to set up set up a new business in your 40s or pay for your children to go for a private education or move house, then you need access to some capital. But you also need that money working harder for you. So the medium-term account is where we would divert them into for that. We then have savings for specifics. So that might be an account for cars, it might be an account for your house, it might be an account for holidays, it might be an account for school fees, it might be an account for tax. But diverting a preset monthly amount into each of those areas will ensure that you don't overspend. I mean, I love travelling. If you happen to have read my book, you'll know that travelling is a big part of my life. It'd be very easy for me to overspend on travelling. But this is essentially creating a budget system so I know how much money I can spend on travelling each year. So I divert the money off. And it's really easy nowadays. You can set up multiple bank accounts with your main bank. You can label each one whatever you want, what the specific purpose is for, and you can divert the money automatically the day after you get paid. So you need savings for specifics, and typically savings accounts with a bank is probably the best place for those. The rates will be pretty rubbish, but this money doesn't sit there for that long. Now this is probably my favourite account. We need the play account. So you need to divert money into a separate account. If you're a couple, you need a play account each, but a set monthly amount that is then your money to spend on whatever you want. So my wife Carol, if she goes off shopping today and decides she wants to buy 5 pairs of shoes, it doesn't worry me because it's coming out of her play account. Equally, if I decide I need a new bike, then if I've saved up the money in my play account, I can buy that bike. It's not, I don't have to ask for permission. I'm using that money for what I want to do with it. I love the play account. It just gives you so much more freedom with your money. Because there's actually 4 types of money profiles within the population. So there's the spenders, the people that spend money as quickly as they can get hands on it. And the play account reins that spending in, stops them spending too much money. Then you've got the savers. The habitual savers. They will not spend money on stuff that they like. And that means they're not enjoying the benefit of the money they're earning. So the play account forces them to spend some money on some nice things, whether that be meals out, experiences, or specific items. You've also got 2 other money profiles. You've got the money monks, which are the people that are sort of holier than money. They're not just interested in money because below them, and you've got the money avoiders, the people that just brush, file everything to do with finances as quickly as possible. In fact, funnily enough, I often thought I was a spender, and then what I've realised over time is I'm actually a money avoider. That may sound bizarre from coming from a financial planner, but it's because I spend a lot of my time, for all day, dealing with other people's money. So the last thing I want to do when I get home is sort out my own. Funnily enough, that's why we have a lot of accountants as clients, because they have the same problem. They deal with other people's money all day, and they don't want to sort out their own when they get home. So whilst many accountants understand the principle of financial planning, they come to us to actually do it for them. So the Play account is a fantastic account, and I really encourage you to set one of those up. A couple more accounts that you need. The Incident account, this is basically for emergencies. If the boiler blows up, the car packs up, you need to have access to some cash quickly, just so that you can spend money on what's needed. And then finally, you've got the Essentials, the account where you pay your mortgage from and your utility bills and all that sort of stuff. So that's where your salary goes into, and actually you don't need to divert it to away from that. That's just what's left over after you've diverted all the money off into the different areas. But the key to getting to financial freedom as quickly as possible is having a money management system in place like this, so that you're accounting for your money correctly and you're spending the right amount on each area. And there's one final step with that money management system, which actually makes up the third point in the Smart Savings solution. And that really is the key to success, and it's to automate it. Because if you don't automate that, if you have to manually put that money into those accounts, it's never going to work. If you run your own business and you're kind of not sure how much money you're going to earn each month, you still need to automate this stuff. You might do it at a lesser level. You still need to set up the regular saving into your investments and your pensions, and maybe just rely on topping up a bit more at the end of the tax year, rather than some business owners where I see them just trying to do it all at the end of the tax year, and that just doesn't work because it gets forgotten or it gets missed, because life gets busy. So you've got to automate this to get it working properly.